We're right here from Conrad's Restaurant and Ale House. Beside me is interim head coach Neil Linhart. Thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about Saturday, 42-6, a demanding victory over Fort Lewis, who came from Colorado to take you guys on, and it was also your first win as an interim head coach.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was. We talked about this after the game. Great team performance, defense. Really only allowed one big play in the day. Unfortunately, that one went for a touchdown, but the 6 points there, and then offensively, it wasn't kind of what it's been in the past, where really a one-man show kind of throughout the game. We had a lot of different guys, whether it was Nate Barnett opened the game up with a touchdown for us. Des Amos, a guy that we've relied on quite a bit, who scored 2 touchdowns in the game. Rushing game got going. A couple of big plays between Kalen Merriweather and Keandre McCullough. Both had touchdowns as well. So really good aspect there in the offense, being able to spread the ball around, being able to make big plays. And then, in the special teams game as well. Those guys stepped up huge. We had a blocked field goal in the game. Jake DeShield stepped up for us in the first half, kicking-wise. Did a great job being able to punt, kick off, and kick field goals. And then we also had Paul Geelan come in and do the same thing. Was pretty solid when it comes to his kickoffs. They were all touchbacks. Can't complain about that.
Nope.
Makes your kickoff team look really good. And then went 3 for 3 for PATs as well.
Definitely. All 3 cylinders were clicking at the highest level. I know we spoke last week about the run game, and you said how important that was going to be. Talk to me a little bit both about Keandre and Kalen, combined for 20 carries, over 175 yards, and a score each.
Yeah, both those guys complement each other really well. Kalen's a little bit more of the between the tackles runner for us. Picks up those extra yards, and he also broke quite a few explosive runs as well. And then, Keandre's a guy every week we say, how can we get him the ball? Whether that's receiving, he caught a big screen on 3rd and long, or he's able to pick up the first down after a penalty. So it was about 3rd and 15, threw a screen pass to him. He got the first down, and then, numerous big runs by him as well that, when I'll take him against anyone one-on-one in space.
How was it seeing C.J. Ward? Not only he threw 4 touchdowns, 2 of those you mentioned to Des Amos, but his progression between last season now through this first game.
Yeah, I think he's a lot more comfortable in the offense. He's a guy that when he first got here, it was a little bit of a rough start for him. Up front, we gave up 7 sacks in that first game that he started for us, and kind of a little bit rattled a little bit throughout the year for him, but the composure that he showed, the comfortability, just being back there, being able to operate within our offense, he did a great job on Saturday, and he was our offensive player of the game. So it just shows the growth that he made, but not only with him, the guys up front, giving him time, because that was a major issue and has been a major issue for us. Those guys have really stepped up huge and provided the time, and then gave the running backs running lanes as well.
Yeah, an experienced line here for the first year, no freshmen, as you mentioned, starting.
Yeah, it's been great having no freshmen up front, or really true freshmen starting for us. It's been the first time since I've been here that we haven't had hey, you've had 15 practices, great, now go play in a college football game.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of experience. Starts with our center, Nash Gagliano. He does a great job calling out defenses, making sure that everyone knows what's going on, and then it just kind of goes from there.
Tell me a little bit about your coaching staff, because I know you got 3 new guys here in their first year. Tell me a little about them and their adjustment to William Jewell.
Yeah, for us, first off, I love the dynamic of our coaching staff. And everyone has an input, but at the end of the day, if we don't go with someone's input, we're all on the same page once we leave the staff room. Mm-hmm. So it's been great there, especially on the offensive side. We've seen a lot of new guys there, and I think they've really added to where we've been going offensively, because we changed a lot from last fall to the spring. And then they each kind of added their own little spark in there when it comes to, hey, yeah, you can do this, or, this is what I've done before as well. So we got a lot of experience on the offensive side that have been at different places and have been able to, what I think, really put us in a spot to be extremely successful on offense.
No, that's exactly what you want to hear.
Exactly.
Hey, I know you're an offensive guy, but I'm asking a defensive question. 3 interceptions, there was a forced fumble, and then, as you mentioned, the blocked field goal there on special teams. Is that what we should expect here throughout this season from your defense, just a hard nose, stop the run, and play not dirty, but play hard?
Yeah. I mean, you look at our defensive stats, and just throwing out some of them. One, they were able to keep Fort Lewis to 2.2 rushing yards per game. And that was a huge step up, and offensively we were able to run for 7.1 per rush. So there was a major difference. And some of the other stats that we talked about, Fort Lewis went 0 for 4 in the red zone. So our defense gave up a few yards early, but when it mattered and they got down in the red zone, they did a great job with either a turnover, blocking a field goal, turnover on downs.
That's huge.
Yeah, so
Massive.
they did a great job, especially late in the game, which was really good to see. Had some guys that maybe didn't start the game and came in a reserve role, but the intensity of the game never was a letdown. They got the ball inside the 10-yard line, and our defense turned them down both times. So that was great to see for, one, team culture, and really just the development of our defense.
That's great. Transition now, looking ahead to this upcoming Saturday. Kentucky Wesleyan coming to town. You guys have split the series over the last 2 years, with William Jewell taking it 24-17 last year for the first one of the season. What's the kind of the game plan going into that one?
Yeah, I think the first thing for our guys that we've talked about is, understanding that, yes, that we beat them last year, but they were 1 yard away from tying the game up late.
Yeah.
So it's not this, hey, we can overlook this opponent just because we won. Yes, we're better than we were last year, but they're also better than they were last year as well. So ultimately, I think it's going to be a good game on Saturday. But for our guys, it's really just being focused. Because some of the things that we've talked on both sides of the ball, they're running the triple option offense now. And for our guys, it's extremely important that we are finishing plays and we're detail-oriented, because you could stop the same play 6 times in a row, and the 7th time it goes for a touchdown because your eyes wandered or you weren't disciplined. And then on offense, looking back to really last week, something that we need to improve upon is our short yardage. We got into 3rd and short and 4th and short, and unfortunately we weren't able to convert on most of those. So that's been really the major emphasis for us this week.
Now I'm going to ask you the hardest question you're going to hear all evening.
Oh, boy.
This one's not even football related. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No. Very quick to that answer.
Yeah. Chicago guy, Chicago-style hot dog. You don't put ketchup on your hot dogs.
Okay.
So that was an easy question.
Okay, so follow-up question. What's the perfect hot dog? What does a Chicago hot dog look like then for you?
Oh, man. So we'll start off mustard, right? No ketchup. Already covered that one. Relish. You got to put the sport peppers on there. The key ingredient that a lot of people overlook is the celery salt. That's what makes the hot dog, and that's what makes it a Chicago-style hot dog.
Can you tell the difference when there's not that salt on it?
Oh, yeah,
really?
Definitely.
Okay, you're true blood Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us here at Conrad's Cardinal Happy Hour. Great to have you. We'll be back the first Tuesday of October. Good luck this weekend against Kentucky Wesleyan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.